Moikka vaan, rakkaat ystävät, ja tervetuloa uusimman Keskiympyrä-jakson pariin. Tällä kertaa ollaankin Keskiympyrässä pikkujoulutunnelmissa, nimittäin vuoden viimeistä lähetystä vietetään. Hetken kuluttua painutaan tästä joulun ja uuden vuoden viettoon, ja pari viikon loma pidetään, mutta sen jälkeen sitten Keskiympyrä jälleen jatkuu heti loppiaisen jälkeen. Tänään meidän pikkujouluvieraana on paljon toivottu Ruxin paluu, katalaanitoppari, joka siis 3 vuotta pelasi Suomessa, pelasi KTP:ssä, AC Oulussa ja Interissä, ja hän nyt sitten edellisen kauden Jenkeissä ensimmäistä kauttaan toiseksi korkeimmalla sarjatasolla FC Tulsassa pelasi. Otetaan Ruxi mukaan ja jutellaan jalkapallosta. Hey, Ruxi, nice to have you here. How are you? Where are you now?
No, now I'm at home. I'm not on holidays anymore. I already started to train, so yeah, I'm at home in Catalonia, and
Yeah.
where I have been November. I have been away on holidays, but now I'm here, like spending the Christmas with my family and friends, and later on January going back to the US.
All right. Yeah, I saw from Instagram that you were traveling all over the place, like in Europe and also in Asia. So, where were you?
Yeah. And in Finland too.
Yeah, of course, in Finland. Yeah, and we saw it was fun. And but yeah, tell us about your trips. Where were you, or what were you doing?
Well, I went to Bali to disconnect a bit about football. Still, I ended up watching some game there, but I went there a couple of weeks just to enjoy, have fun, relax, and it was really nice. And then I was also in England, in Germany, watching some football, learning. I went to Chelsea, Aston Villa. I was there visiting the club, watching trainings, and well, basically when I went to England and Germany, it was basically for that, to watch football, travel around some nice cities. After that, I went to Finland, as you know, and now I'm here at home. Maybe for New Year's Eve I'm going to Portugal, but after that, yeah, going back to the US.
Yeah, pretty much traveling, but I think you're used to traveling now, at least now when you're in US and you have those, long distances there between games and everything.
Yeah, I mean, every time we play away game, I need to take like 2 flights to go and 2 flights back. So yeah, I'm probably this year I have been like flying like most times ever. So imagine.
Yeah. So, like you said, you were in Germany and England and visiting some big clubs in England also. How is it like? Is it easy for you because, well, you're a professional footballer and you're studying coaching, so is it easy to get those times to visit like clubs like that, Chelsea or Aston Villa? Or do you need to know the right persons?
Well, it depends. Each club is different. It depends a lot about the head coach. But usually what I know from my side and I know other people who has been there visiting some clubs, I think they usually try to open the doors for some people. But probably, yes, you need someone who is working there, probably who can help you. But we used to think, or usually we think, that it's not possible to go there and do nothing, but many times we don't try. And then I just tried. Of course, I knew someone in Chelsea. I knew someone in Aston Villa also, because one of the systems there, he used to be my coach, and in Chelsea I know one of the systems also because he's from my town, so it was easier for me. But yeah, I think sometimes it can be hard if you don't know anyone there, but sometimes you just need to try and you never know.
Yeah. So how was it like in those clubs? Were there something like new for you or something surprising on those big clubs like Chelsea and Aston Villa also is a big club?
Yeah, well, the facilities they have, how many people are working there? Like they have like, can imagine like in the staff, it can be like 25, 30 person working on, and they go through details that you think like, no, they are not going to work up in these things, and they do it, and because they have a lot of people working, and every detail they take care of it. So for me, it was a nice experience to see how they work. Every coach is different, so they work different. But like I like, for example, in Chelsea and Aston Villa, they work pretty different. But at the end, both ways, of course, they work. They are in the best league of the world, and they have success. So I like to learn from different ways of understanding the game, of working, and well, what was more impressive was the facilities they have and how many people are working there, and how they go through details, through details in the game that you think, nah, that's not important, and they actually work on that, and then it works something.
Yeah, and I also saw that you get to meet Unai Emery, which is a huge like manager, and of course from Spain. And how is it like for you, because you're a professional footballer and you know players, like big players and coaches and stuff like that? So still you still get like starstruck when you get to meet those people, or are you just thinking that we are colleagues chatting about football?
Yeah, maybe earlier it was I got maybe a bit more nervous, but nowadays no. I spoke with him. He was a really nice person. When we are talking about football, I don't know. I just started to ask him questions, and we spoke for a while, and he just explained to me many things about how he coaches, about how he lives football. And it was really nice. And at the end, they are normal persons. You see them like, oh wow, Unai Emery, but at the end he was like a really normal guy. We were speaking about football, and not only about football. He asked me about the US, how is football there, and we had a really normal conversation. But I learned a lot of things, and I was trying to ask him as much as possible. But of course, also they are working all the day, and they try to speak with you, but they don't have a lot of time, probably. So you need to use time, and you need to be smart to try to ask as much questions as possible, because like they don't have time. They need to work, and they are working all day, and if you get to talk with them sometimes 15 minutes, that's amazing.
Yeah, and I also, well, I know that your dream one day is to become a coach or a manager or whatever, to be involved with football also after when you stop playing. So like trips like this, and when you go to these clubs, does it make it feel like more how would I describe it, like concrete, or make that dream even more realistic to you?
Yeah, it's something I can do it now because I'm a player, so I have time until I retire, hopefully
Yeah.
in many years, but you never know when it comes. But yeah, I'm just trying to get ready for that, and speaking with coaches like that in the top level. Like, I like to ask them many questions because I have a lot of questions to them, and I try to collect this information. And then I try to get new ideas or modify some ideas I had about the game, or about how to lead the group, or about how to manage some personalities, or how to work the methodology of the trainings. I don't know. I try to get new ideas from everyone, and maybe from some coaches you get some good ideas about leadership. For some other coaches you get some good tactical ideas, and from that you start to think about, okay, I like this, I don't like this, but maybe from this coach I like another thing, and you get everything, you gather all together, and then you think, okay, that this is my philosophy for everything what I have learned, and now it's the time to do it, because later, if I start coaching, it is going to be difficult maybe to visit other clubs and have time for that. And I think now is the right moment. But I'm doing the same while I'm playing. Like, I try to learn from every coach, even from teammates, from anyone, and trying to gather ideas to someday start coaching and be ready for that.
Yeah, and also I see from Twitter that I mean X now that you're doing a lot of like analyzing mostly about Premier League. So is Premier League now the league you enjoy most watching, or do you have any like I know you, of course, you watch La Liga and Bundesliga and something else, but is Premier League the number one for you?
Yeah. Right now, yes. I think the best managers are there. I think the best players are there. And to be honest, like any game is incredible in Premier League. And it used to be only the big six, but now big six, Newcastle, Brighton, Aston Villa, they're not big six, and you wanna watch them play. And I think it's getting bigger and bigger, and any team now looks like like they have a great manager. You wanna watch how they play. They do modern football things. That is something I like. And in other leagues, I don't have the same feeling. I used to watch, of course, a lot of La Liga games, but nowadays, I don't know. You have, of course, some team like Girona nowadays that is doing the things well, but it's a bit like, I don't know. I don't have the same motivation to watch, for example, Premier League. I think all the best coaches are going there, best players, and that's why I try to follow more than league. I love coaches like De Chervi, Guardiola, Arteta, all these coaches. I try to Unai Emery. I try to watch a lot of games from them, and I think it's the league where I can learn the most.
Yeah. Well, like you said, and also we met like a few weeks ago when you were visiting Finland, like, and you had a little bit, how can you say, like a reunion here in Finland, because it was Antti Mäkijärvi's 30th birthday, right? And
Yeah.
and there were a lot of ex KTP players there, players you know so well from your year in KTP. So how was it, firstly, to be back in Finland after 1 year? You spent here 3 years, and you came back for a few days and see all those guys again.
Yeah, probably. I have a lot of friends here, you included. So it was nice to see many of you. And I mean, it was December, so there were things like the darkness,
Yeah.
the wind, the snow. I was like, oof, I don't miss this at all. But it's true. I miss many of the guys. I spent like 3 years there, and for me, I have a lot of friends there, and it's probably the thing I miss the most, but I don't miss life there at all. Of course, I miss a lot of people there, and I had a good time there, but now that I'm living in the US, or between the US and Spain, I like living here or in the US more than in Finland. But it's true, I have a lot of friends there, and of course you always feel like, oh, that was my home for a while.
Yeah, and I think it tells something that you were so close, especially in KTP. Of course, it was Antti's birthday, and he was a KTP player. It wasn't he wasn't playing in Oulu or Inter, so it would have been different if it's someone's birthday from there. But it was Antti's birthday, and there was a lot of players from KTP, and especially from that year that you promoted to Veikkausliiga. So I think it still like tells a story, and we have spoken a lot about it, like how was the team on that year. It was something really special.
Yeah, I would say I always remember that year, and for me it was probably the best I ever had in football, where I felt like where I played my best football, I would say. I played in better levels after that because, of course, I played in Bakehouse Liga and now in the US. But the thing is, I never felt same than there. The group we had in the dressing room, like I have many friends there. The connection we had also with the coaches, with Argo, with Jordi, with Ossi. And I think we were, and also the connection with the fans. I think we have been spoken about that a long time. It was hard times, and we were all together, and also talking only about football. I think we played there, or I played there, the best football I ever played, probably in a team. I enjoyed a lot playing football there, and maybe in the other teams I have been, I never felt like that. So I always look back and say we had hard times also because it was COVID time, but I feel like a bit sad, when I remember that times, because it's like we were happy, and maybe I didn't realize at that time how happy I was playing football. And you always expect to play in better levels and get better money, but now I look back and that year I was really happy. I enjoyed a lot. We had connection with the fans. You remember when we were singing after the games, and I was amazing. And also, of course, the day we promoted in Turku, it's like a day I will always remember. And Antti scored a goal, and I remember the day before he was pretty mad because he was always starting, and in that game he was not starting. And of course we spoke the day before the game. I told him, what if you come from the bench and you score the goal? Who promotes us? Now you are like, you are being maybe too negative because you are not starting, which I understand, and it's normal. I will be same. But what if you come in last 30 minutes and you score and this I don't know if I ever show you, but I have this in WhatsApp. And next day he scored that goal, and he's I don't know why everything worked. We had a great group. We were a group of friends. We played good football. We believe in the coaches, and it was amazing. And you realize when you get older that it's really difficult to have the same feeling in a team where you have good relation with everyone, where you are with the coach, where the fans are with you, where like you enjoy playing football, you can play your best football. It's difficult to find an environment like this, and in Cotepe I had it. That's why I feel a bit sad because I could enjoy it more. Maybe at that time I didn't realize how happy I was, but I look back and I say, wow, that year was amazing. And I have still, I have friends that now 3 years later, I for my holidays I came back to Finland to celebrate one of my best friends' parties. So imagine.
Yeah. And also there is one big lesson for life to enjoy the moment, because like you said, it's not easy to realize that when you're living the moment that this is the happy life, but there is
you expect
you
expect always better, and you think, oh, Cotepe, second division of Finland, I want to go to Bakehouse Liga, I want to get more money, I want to live in Helsinki, not in Kotka, I want to, or I want to go to better leagues. And at the end, you look back and say, what it matters? I was happy there. I played good football, I had friends there, I learned a lot, so.
Yeah, exactly. And I got a question for you from Kotka, because one guy DM'd me today. He's not Ruxi, he's Ritsi, who is asking. Ritsi, he's what's joukkueen johtajan in English?
Team leader?
Team leader, team manager, whatever. Yeah. He asked that where is his bike?
Good question. Do you know what happened with that?
I don't know.
He gave me, when I was in Cotepe, he gave me an old bike, a really old bike.
Yeah.
And when I left to Oulu, like we were joking, but I told him, like, I miss the bike I had in Kotka, and in Oulu I don't have a bike, or I think I had a bike, but I don't know, someone took it, I don't remember. And he one day he told me, hey, I sent you something, like, and I went there, and I went to, how you say it, like, well, when you get, I don't know how to say it in English, it doesn't matter, but I got the bike from Kotka. He sent it to Oulu.
Yeah.
So I had the bike I had in Kotka, I had it in Oulu, but now I think the bike is lost somewhere in Oulu. Yeah. So it was fun. It was a great guy. We have good relations still.
Yeah, maybe it's somewhere in Rotuari or something, still locked there.
Probably,
Yeah.
yes. Probably.
In front of some coffee place in Oulu.
Exactly.
Yeah. So now I think many people would hope that we could now announce that you're coming back to Finland, like permanently to some club, but no, I think not.
No. It's not in my. I mean, I think my time on Finland is done, at least for a while. But well, I don't say no in the future, and maybe in some club like Kotb, where I was so happy, maybe someday. But at the moment, I'm thinking in other things. So, and live some experiences abroad, and yeah. So we will see.
Yeah. So now you had 1 year in US, your first year in US in Tulsa. So what kind of an experience was it, the first year in US?
Well, I'm pretty happy about the experience. I think it was great. I think the league is good. You play in great cities. I play in cities like Miami, Las Vegas, San Diego, cities that you used to see in the films, in the movies. And now you can play football there, or soccer, how they call it there.
Yeah.
So this way is nice. Also, nice stadiums, like a lot of fans, I would say, compared, for example, to Finland, or the levels compared to the levels I played in Spain. And also great facilities, like all the clubs have money. The players, we are better paid than in countries like Finland. We spoke about that with you. In housing, it's also better. Like life where I live is quite safe. I don't live in the best city of the world, but still, like, there are nice things to do also in Tulsa. And well, I'm pretty happy about my life there. It's true that football-wise is a bit different. Maybe they don't have the same passion we can have in Europe about the game, but they understand football also more as a business. In the business side, they are good on that. They are really good on marketing, all that things. So I'm learning about this also, about the business side of football, or how to run a club, how to manage a club. But still, sometimes I have been missing like a bit of more understanding of the game, a bit more passion for the game. I think still it's growing in the US, but it's coming. I think it's coming in the future. And yeah, I think it's first good experience. True that the team, like, our goals were like to be in the playoffs and be in better positions, and at the end it was not like that. So I was a bit frustrated about the year we had, but football wise. But I think it was the first year with this coach, with this team, with the new president. So maybe next year is better. I hope so.
Yeah, and like you said, that they pay the players, they pay more, and everything is like around the pitch, outside of the pitch is good, like the housing and everything. So how would you describe like the level of the game? It's like the second tier of US. So how is it compared to like Veikkausliiga?
I would say it's similar, the level, in the way that maybe physically and technically there are good players there, and I would say even maybe better than in Veikkausliiga, because it's a big country. It's a big country. They can also, because they can pay money, they can also bring a lot of players from abroad. international players, which are coming from a good level because they pay good salaries, so it's easier to get good players. And the American players that are good because it's so big country, you can find good players technically and physically, I would say. But it's true that tactically, compared to Europe, like collectively and individually, I think the players are better coached probably in Europe and in Finland also. But of course, it's every country in Europe also is different. You cannot compare maybe Spain with Finland or Germany with Finland. But in that way, I think in Finland, the teams were better organized, and in the US, still improving in that way. And I think like there are many players that they are now better tactically, but still like there's a lot to do there in that way.
Yeah, and also the transfers are different than you're used to in Europe, because you can be traded like any day. They can tell you that we are trading you, and you have to move in 2 hours or something like that. So well, you didn't have to go through that kind of experience, but are you like mentally prepared to that things can change pretty fast?
Yeah, I mean, when this year we had like 3-4 trades in the team, and I remember one game we were playing Tulsa against Memphis, and after the game we exchanged one player with, so our number 10, Rodrigo da Costa was his name, went from our team to Memphis, and the striker of Memphis, Phil Goodroom, came to Tulsa, and that was after the game.
Yeah.
So next day on the dressing room, you had the striker of Memphis who you played against last night.
Yeah.
He was there already. And he was like, wow, I've never experienced something like that. But I mean, I have been playing abroad now for many years. I have been always like in Finland 3 years, in Iceland, Spain, in different clubs, and I'm ready for that. If one day comes, I accept it. I know it's part of the game. Good thing is that they respect your salary, so it's not like they can move you to another team and just to a worse contract. So you will have the same contract. So that makes it easier. And I'm, if one day it comes because the club makes the decision and it's the best for them, then I will just do it. Of course, there are teams that better than others that you will prefer to go, but I'm always ready to get my bag and go somewhere else and try to enjoy football. And I don't have a problem to move.
Yeah, and I think that maybe you're that kind of a person, who accepts that like well, because you like to travel and you like to visit different places, and always when you're in some place you like to know the city and know a bit of that culture and everything about that. So maybe you would take it as an experience.
Yeah. I mean, if I will go somewhere else, will be positive things, and I think always when you go out of your comfort zone and you go and live other places, play in other teams, you learn things. It's always an experience, and you can have a bad experience, but still you get some things from there. And I try to be positive, and I try to control things I can control, and I cannot control if the club decides to trade me, and because I don't know, they prefer to have another player, or they think like I'm expensive for the club or whatever. So they trade you to somewhere else, and you accept it, and you try to look for the positive things.
Yeah, exactly. And so how did you see like the culture in the USA? Everything is big, and the food is also big, and I know you like to eat a lot, so that must be nice.
Yeah. Not only that, is that you have like a lot of possibilities. For me, it was a big change compared to Finland. Because in the US, like you have like thousands of restaurants, of all kind of restaurants, all kind of supermarkets, like all kind of possibilities about everything. Like so it makes it easier for me life there in somehow, and I like to eat, it, and having like different options for food. And if you want to go Mexican, you have an option. If you want to go to a US restaurant, if you want to go to Spanish restaurant, you will find options, and it doesn't matter. Even Tulsa is not any big city. You find always good restaurants. And yeah, it's something like it was a big change for me compared to Finland. That in Finland, like, the options were more reduced. You didn't have that much because it's a smaller country at the end. So yeah, it was a big change for me.
Yeah. So how would you describe Tulsa as a city? Maybe our connection, like if you look at this from Finland, our connection to Tulsa is maybe we remember it from the comedy show Friends, where Chandler Bing went to work to Tulsa, but that's the only connection we know about Tulsa, because we don't. I'm sure that like Finnish people don't know any sports teams from Tulsa or something like that. So how's it like?
Well, we are in the state of Oklahoma. It's like a bit in the middle of the US. It's like it kind of has the label, or however you can call it. They say that it's not a city anyone wants to come and live, but for me, I went there with any expectations, and for me, it's not that bad city. Of course, it's not one of the best in the US, but I think it's bigger than what it looks, and actually, it's really good for families. To raise a family there, like, the taxes are really low compared to other, like, places like New York or Miami. So a lot of families come there to live. They have a lot of activities for kids. Like, you can do many things there for families. But you have the basketball there, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Oklahoma City is 2 hours from Tulsa. I think Dallas in Texas is like 3 hours and a half, 4 hours. And yeah, it's true that in soccer or football, we have only FC Tulsa. It used to be Oklahoma Energy, I think it was the name of the club, but now they are not in the league. Maybe they are coming again soon, but yeah, for me it's okay. I don't live in Tulsa City. I live 20 minutes away in Jinx, and it's a quite nice village, let's say like that. And I'm enjoying life there, quite safe where I am. It's true in Tulsa, you can be some zones, it can be a bit more dangerous, but where I live, life is fantastic. I don't have any problem.
Yeah. And like you said, there is some big teams in Dallas and Oklahoma City. Did you went to see any basketball or other sports, NFL or something like that?
No, I only like football. No. I went to. I only watch football, the main sport. No,
yeah.
I went to watch one basketball game, Oklahoma City Thunder against Detroit Pistons, but it was just a friendly game because they came to Tulsa. But I like to watch university soccer, and one of the things I want to go to an American football game, and I went to watch baseball too, because the baseball team, they play in the same stadium than us. So I went one day to watch baseball, but it was okay. But I felt it was a bit boring, to be honest.
It takes like It takes like 4 hours, I think, one game, or 3 or 4 hours. But I think the main point there, or so what I heard is to go there and drink and eat and meet your friends.
Yeah, but they do this in all sports, like in soccer, also in basketball. It's what I say, that it's more like a show for them to come to the stadium, have fun. Good thing is you see families there coming, that maybe in Europe it's difficult to see all the family together going to the football game. But in the US, you see all the family going there, they have fun, they eat, and if you win, better. But if you lose, it's okay. Still, they had a good time.
Yeah.
They came there, and in Europe it's different that way.
Yeah, they know that it's sports is entertainment for people.
Exactly. And I mean, I like this side, but sometimes at the same time is you miss a bit more passion, you know, for the game. It's like, but it's good. For example, in the US, the fans are this season we had a bad season and our expectations were really high, and the guys always, our fans always supporting us. They always say, "Come on, guys, you have been doing good. Just keep fighting. We are with you guys." And you know, we always felt their support. And I feel like in Europe, if you don't perform how you were expected, it can be more tough. You can feel more the pressure. But in the US, not. I mean, I think it's a good thing, but at the same time, I think you need to try to find the balance between that you care, but at the same time, you want to support the team.
Yeah, exactly. And so now you know the life in US. You've been living there like a year, and now you're going there again. So you know how the life is off the pitch. But like you said, on the pitch, it was disappointing the last season. What are your expectations now when you go back there? They extended your contract for another year.
Yeah, so yeah, I think the main goal is to reach the playoffs. I'm not gonna say it's easy because it's not easy, but I think if you do a good season, you reach the playoffs because the first 8 teams, we are 12 in our conference, so it's quite not easy. But if you get between the first position and 8th position, you are in the playoff. So that has to be the main goal, because last season we were 10th on the table. So I think this season we need to get better. I think we need to play better football. Now we have like same coaching staff. We have many same players. We signed 3-4 players that they are looking good. So with experience in the league, so I think it's going to be a better season. I think it's going to be for sure better than last season. And well, maybe I don't have the same expectations I had last season when I came new, and well, the goal was to be champions and everything. But because I realized that well, it's not that easy, you know, that we have a good team and I'm in a good club, but still there are other good clubs also in the league, and we need to build from there. It's not easy the first year with new players, new coaches, new president, everything to perform good. But the second year we need to get better. We need to reach the playoffs, and we need to perform. If not, that will be really disappointing. And then I think the club needs to take decisions and go take it from there. But I'm positive, and I think we are gonna have a good season.
Personally, how did you feel about last year? Like how you could perform on the pitch? Were you happy? Like what you did there, or are you also frustrated about that?
No, I think in the individually, I think I did a good season in general for being my first season in the US. I played in different positions. It's true that I was playing really really good at the start of my first 3 games, but then I got an injury on my ankle, and I was out for a while, and I was out for 1 month, and then when I came back quite okay, but maybe I was not in the same shape that in the start. So I had there 2-3 games that I was not at my best level. And well, during the year I played also different positions: fullback, center backs, wing back. So it was positive that I could play in more positions. But well, the team went through some difficulties during the season. We had injuries, we had bad results, and some trades during the season that we changed the squad, and it was not easy for anyone. But I think in general, individually, I think I did a good season. But I always try to improve, and I know I have many things to improve, and that's one of the targets for this season, to improve the things I haven't done good last season. But I think I need to improve individually, but also collectively we need to improve a lot of things.
Yeah. So there's a lot to do next year. a few questions from chat and some questions that I got from Instagram. There was a question about following different leagues, and also it's not that easy to follow like European leagues because of the time difference. Well, sometimes it's nice when you can watch some games on daytime that are played here late, but there was a question that could you follow any Finnish football like Veikkausliiga? Did you follow any games, watch any games? What's your feeling about last season in Finland?
No, I look, the good thing in the US is that it's true. Sometimes I'm training when to watch some games in the morning, because the time difference is like 7 hours less. So when it's the morning for me, it's the night in Europe. So or evening or afternoon, and then it's true that some mornings that I have free, or we are, for example, in the game day, I have and it's usually Saturday, Sunday. During the morning, we play in the evening, so during the morning I can watch games. So it's not a problem. So a game that is at 3 o'clock in Europe, for me is at 8 in the morning. So when I wake up, first thing I'm doing is just watching some football games in Premier League or whatever. And yeah, one of the things I try to do is to watch the Finnish league, and especially the clubs I played. So I follow KTP, I follow AC Oulu, and I follow Inter Turku. They are the three teams I follow the most, and I have some friends playing in every team. So yeah, I try to, and especially when they play against each other, when they play Inter against Oulu, or when KTP against Oulu, I try to watch all these games, and not only this last season, also before, when I was in Inter Turku, I used to watch a lot like Oulu games and KTP games. I like to follow what they do, what the coaches do, what my ex-teammates do, and yeah, I try to follow the Finnish league, but sometimes it's like it's difficult to combine while I'm watching maybe La Liga, Barça, or I'm watching Premier League at the same time as the Finnish league. So I watch 30 minutes one game, then I go to Premier League. So, but still, I think I follow quite much this last year.
Yeah. Then there's a question here on chat that who is your idol professionally? Who is your idol? Do you? I'm sure you have some idols in football.
Oof, good question. I have changed a lot during the years.
Cruyff, maybe.
Some of the idols. Yeah, Cruyff is one of my biggest. I will not say as a player, because I haven't seen him playing. It's just his ideas, how brave he was, how he went to a different country, and he said, no, I believe in that, and he brought his ideas to Barcelona, and now like his influence is everything. We got what we got because of him, like because the influence he had in Pep Guardiola and in other coaches too. So for me, it's one to see. Like I have influences. Like now I look more coaches than players. It's true. For example, when I had more maybe idols as a players, I look a lot at Azpilicueta, for example, or players like Puyol. Maybe they are not like my profile of player, but they are guys that they have been working for many years, and they have been like pushing themselves hard to get where they are. Like, and I like how professional they are, these kind of things. But I like nowadays that I'm looking more at coaches. Probably I like the coaches that they are brave and they try different things. The ones that you sit and you watch them play their teams, and oh wow, they are doing different things that not everyone is doing. And Bielsa, of course, Pep, De Chervi, coaches like that, I love it because they do different things, and the things they do, it works, and they are brave to do it and to convince the players this is going to work. I believe on this, and it's not easy. And when you get to the top level, to convince some players about new ideas, everyone, when you say something new, they say, no, what are you going to tell me? I know about that. And so that's why I admire them.
Yeah. And when you spoke about Cruyff and Barca, I have to ask because you're from Catalonia and you follow FC Barcelona a lot. So I need to ask you because you watch almost all the games. I think what's wrong with Barcelona at the moment?
We have many issues. We have many issues. One of the problems we have is now is the injuries we had. I think my opinion is we got now better players that disorganize the team a bit more. You know, for example, Cancelo is a great player, but he's playing with a bit more freedom. So we forget a bit about the balance, you know, to control like the counterattacks, the transitions. Same a bit with Joao Felix, like a player who is really talented, but he plays a little bit with freedom, defending, sometimes defense, sometimes not. So we had injuries from Pedri, from Frankie de Jong, Busquets left, and we thought Uriol Romeo could be a solution for that, but it's not the same. I think he's a great player, but maybe not for Barca at this level. And now he's having I think he's mentally gone, and it's difficult to now. Gavi is injured also, and we need time also. I think Xavi didn't find a way yet to make his team work, and I'm still waiting for someday. I hope we find the way to win games and to be the Barca we have always been. And I think the solution is to look always the academy, to look the players who are on our academy, and we work because we still look too much somewhere else to sign players, which I think you need it, but I will believe in many players from the academy because you have seen Gavi. It's an amazing player. He's 18 now. Fermin Lopez comes and he's a great player. You have this guy Mark Yu, the striker, that for me can be the next striker for Barcelona, and you have to give opportunities to these guys, and I think sooner or later we will have a great team.
Okay, looking forward to that. Hey, I think you are going to watch Barcelona today, so or tonight. I mean, so we should wrap this thing up. How is your the end of the year? How is it going to be now? Like you said, some spending some Christmas time with family, and then maybe a bit more traveling and something like that.
Listen, today I got invited to go and watch Barca, but I committed with you to be in Keskiympyrän, and I say I'm not going to watch Barca. Yeah, I want this. I want you to know this.
To the stadium or some friend's house?
No, to the stadium. Oh. All my family are there, but I had this interview with you, and also it's 1 hour away from. I live 1 hour away from Barcelona, so I need to go there all the way and come back, and also it was too much maybe, and I had things to do, but at the same time I committed with you, so I say no, I'm going to be in Keskiympyrän tonight. I can't.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it a lot.
No problem. So yeah, I'm going to stay holidays here. I'm training already. I started to train by myself, and I always do the same before starting the preseason. I try to train during 4 weeks, 1 month, 1.5 months to get ready to not be, because the off season some days can be long. I've been already 2 months without playing. So I think during 1 month I was really not doing nothing, basically just relaxing and enjoying. But now for many weeks I already started training. So now I'm training at the same time. I'm studying in the university. I'm doing threads in Twitter, as you know.
Yeah.
I'm seeing some friends, family, and yeah, for New Year's Eve, I'm probably going to Lisboa. I'm maybe going to watch Otso Limata. Benfica against Famalicão. I think I told you. And yeah, after that, I'm going to be here until I think it's 9th and 10th or 10th of January, and then I'm going back to the US.
Yeah, that sounds great, especially the part when you travel to watch some football, because that's the best way to travel, I think.
Exactly.
What do you think about Otso? Because I think we haven't. Well, maybe we spoke about it, but now for the audience as well. Otso Liimatta in Famalicão. I think you're going to see him now. Have you seen him play in Portugal? What are your thoughts about him?
No, I haven't seen him playing in Portugal. Okay. I cannot follow all the leagues. I'm sorry, but no, I remember. With Otso it's special because when I played in Oulu, he was 16. And you could see when he was coming to trainings, he was shy, he wouldn't speak, but every touch he made with the ball, I was like, wow, this guy is so good. This guy is so good. You could see it. And I like this kind of players. I like these small players, but smart, technically good. And he had an ability to, I would say, the best ability he had is he never lost the ball. He never lost the ball. And it's really difficult to find players like him, and more in Finland. Maybe in Spain you can find more, but in Finland I didn't find a player like him who will never lose the ball. He will always take care of the ball, and he had a big personality playing, but then outside the field he will not speak. He was shy. He was like, but the personality he had on the field. I remember when the first game he played against Hoito, he took like, I think we were losing like 2-0 or 3-0. He came in last 20 minutes. He took the first ball. He took a corner. It was his debut, and he took the corner, and we scored. Mika Koskela scored. Yeah, and I was like, wow, like this guy is not talking, and he makes his debut. He takes the ball and he takes the corner. I was like, this guy is like, what a personality! And then to ask for the ball in the field, like with 16, 17 starting games in Veikkausliiga, and telling me, give me the ball, no problem. And I was like, wow, this guy, for how shy he is. And how much I love football, and I used to go to watch the Alls, the second team, a lot, and many times he was playing there, because sometimes he was not coming. He was maybe too young. He was 16 and he was going to play with Alls. And I could see every Sunday, he was fantastic. Like, I don't know if it was Kakkonen or what league or Kolmonen, but he was playing amazing there, and he would do whatever he wanted. And I told to my agent at that time, I still have the messages, this guy is going to be so good. This guy's going to be so good. And with some of my teammates, I always tell them, like, this guy, he will make career abroad. And the only doubt I have is that he's from Finland, he's shy, and the adaptation to other countries is not easy. Going out, we have spoken about that, going out of the comfort zone and going out from Finland is not easy, because the life there in Finland is different. People is more, how life is there, and it can be difficult sometimes to go to. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So it can be a bit difficult for him, the adaptation there. It's my only concern, but I sent him a message today, and hopefully we can speak, and yeah, I think he will have a good career. I think he's a great player, and I'm happy he went to the first league of Portugal.
Yeah, it's great, and they're comparing him. They are saying that he's the Messi from Oulu. Can you agree?
I know. Okay. I know. I mean, I think they are different, but the way they play
a little bit different.
But they are both small. They like to get the ball in the left and go to the right and then shoot. Similar things that what Messi does in the other side, because he's left-footed. But similar things. Like he's really good in small spaces. You think you are gonna get the ball from him, but at the last moment he can make a pam pam and he pass you. So I think he can. They can be similar. I understand that but we need to take care of this in the way that you can put a lot of pressure to Otso, because Messi is Messi and Otso is not. Yeah. He's not gonna be Messi, but he's gonna be a great player.
Yeah, let's hope. We all hope to see him. Some people are saying already that he should be in Huuhkajat, but let's see. I think it will happen pretty soon.
I agree. I think I would like to see him there, and also I like a lot Anssi Suhonen, and hopefully we can see two good midfielders soon in Huuhkajat.
Yeah, let's hope. So sorry if I missed it, but you're going back to US when?
Probably in 9th or 10th of January.
All right, and the season there will be preseason, and the season will begin in February, March.
March, in the start of March.
All right. So then we'll see you in action. How much do you miss playing?
Well, I miss it. I'm starting to missing it now, but also holidays are good. During the season you play every weekend, and it's also really demanding. You need to be the way I live it, like being really professional, trying to eat well, sleep well, everything. Now I can relax a bit more, and so I'm enjoying too. But I would like to play soon. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the time will come, but now just like enjoy your holidays and enjoy your time with the family, because I think you don't see each other that much when you're in US.
Not really. Once a year.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, it was so nice to have you here again with us. People have been asking from me that when is Ruxi coming back, and now you are here with us. So it's been super nice. Also, it was super nice to see you a few weeks ago here in Finland, and I hope that we could make this like a tradition that once a year before Christmas we do this. What do you think?
Oh yeah, it would be fantastic. And it's the time where I'm usually here in Spain, in Catalonia at home. So it will be nice to do it once a year, and we can talk about the how it went the season, and
about everything. Pretty
talk
much.
about some Finnish football things also.
Yeah. Hey, but thank you. Now I leave you. I think you're going to watch Barca, so I leave you to it and wish you all the best. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and let's keep in touch.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. See you soon.
See you. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye. Ciao. Iso kiitos vielä Ruxille vierailusta Keskiympyrässä. Ja tämä oli, rakkaat, tosiaan viimeinen jakso tälle vuodelle. Keskiympyrä siis jää pienelle joulutauolle, mutta me palataan tuottajan Nunon kanssa sitten mestoille jälleen ensi vuoden puolella. Pidetään pikkuinen loma. Joo, pidetään pari viikon loma ja sitten Keskiympyrä jälleen tammikuun alussa loppiaisen jälkeen palaa jälleen linjoille, taajuuksille, mutta nyt me toivotetaan teille Nunon kanssa oikein ihanaa, rauhallista joulua, mahtavaa uutta vuotta ja kuullaan jälleen ensi vuonna. Moi moi!